Hello everyone and welcome. Today I'm going to do a short impression video for a device that I bought almost a month ago. This bad boy right here, the 14 Pro Max. I pre-ordered it, the second pre-orders became available locally, but it took nearly 3 weeks or so to arrive. I only took it out of the box last evening to make sure the delivery was smooth, that there are no problems with it, that the display is in good order, and today I'm going to do the initial setup and I'm going to share with you my first impressions of the thing. Before we go any further, a short disclaimer. This isn't going to be the typical YouTuber kind of thing. You know, do a lot of hype before something comes out, pre-order it, review it, and then say, oh, I'm returning it just 1 week later. No, this is going to be my daily driver for the next year or so, replacing this, the 13 Pro Max, which I've had also for a year. I'm going to review this one before I sell it on, so stick around so that you see that review if you're interested in it. But no, this is going to be my main phone. And I'm going to share with you the exact impressions that I get from it. I know there's a lot of people saying, should you buy it? Maybe you should skip this year, whatever. Let's find out together. And don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, consider dropping it a thumbs up and subbing to the channel so that you don't miss out on further content. Alright, so let's get started. First things first, the retail box. Like, before this video, I was ready to tell you that it's the same as last year, but it's not. This is the box of the 13 Pro Max. This is the 14 Pro Max. They changed the design. This one's black. This one's white. Otherwise, the boxes are the exact same thing. But yeah, the design on the new one this year is completely different. Okay, now let's open up the box. Like I said, I already opened it last evening to make sure that the phone was in good shape. And there you have it in the new purple color. This is the big boy, the 14 Pro Max. It's basically the exact same size as the one before. Right now I'm filming on the 13 Pro Max, so I can't really show you a comparison. But boy, does the camera cutout look to be really big this year. All right, let's take the phone out. Leave it aside for a sec. Of course, you only get the usual USB Lightning connector, right? They kept Lightning around for another year. I hate that decision. It is what it is. Here in the EU, at least next year, I'm pretty certain we'll be getting a USB-C variant because they just mandated that USB-C will have to be a universal connector. We'll see. Here we have the SIM tray ejector. Yeah, you guys in the US don't get that anymore. And an Apple sticker. That's not purple, of course. Okay, now let's take a closer look at the phone. I really dig the color. I mean, yeah, I know it's a lame thing to say, but the color does look enormously good. It's not really purple. It has some bluish tint to it, I would say. The cameras are absolutely huge though. I don't know if you can see this, but look, the cameras are huge this year. The rest of the design, pretty familiar. It's basically unchanged. In terms of size and weight, this is still a big phone. I'm pretty certain it's a little bit heavier than the 13 Pro Max, or anyway, very close to that. I'm gonna put the dimensions on the screen. Pretty big. This is not a one-handed device. This is not a device that you're going to be using one-handed very easily. I mean, swiping from the top requires quite a lot of hand gymnastics, but it does feel really neat in the hand, and the build quality is phenomenal, man. I mean, I always talk about this with Apple's iPhones and other products here on the channel, but they do know how to make an expensive product feel expensive, right? Every bit of the way. Because make no mistake, this is super expensive. I'm going to do another detailed video about the real cost of upgrading year over year. This is an expensive phone, but at least it feels like an expensive phone. There's nothing flimsy, nothing poor about it. Everything is really good. Okay, let's set it down. Oh, I've just noticed this when putting it down. Look. Wow. So this thing will vibrate, will move a ton without a case on a table. Not the best idea. Okay, so I think I've managed to capture it here in the video. I hope it's visible. It's clearly visible that there are two camera sections here. There's a camera and another component here. They're a lot lower compared to last year's notch design. They feel to be more in the display. We'll see how this works out in real usage, but yeah. Now that we've had a quick glance at it, let's turn it on. I will do the setup separately off screen and then resume after that. Like usual, we get the Apple logo thing. Okay, so there we have it. I've now set it up and we already see the first new feature, the always on display. I have to say I am a fan of the look. I mean, let's compare it to, let's say, a standard always on display like this. The Pixel 4a 5G that I have, this has had an always on display for quite some time. Arguably, it's the same kind of information being displayed on both of them. This is a simple display, right? This one looks a lot more vibrant and cool. I like it. I dig it. and I'm not going to be turning it off. I actually quite enjoy it. The second feature worthwhile talking about, the second new feature that's obviously visible, is the new notch, or dynamic app island as Apple wants to call it. It's a new form of notch, and it does add a quality of life improvement, but it's far from perfect. I mean, it's not the multitasking tool that people are making it out to be. I mean, it's okay, it does add a little bit more multitasking to the phone, but it's not dramatic. Let me show you. So it expands to show notifications and stuff, which is actually pretty neat and cool. It makes the UI more cohesive, looks better, but it's not really great for multitasking. First, let's see it in action. I'm gonna use YouTube Music. Okay, I minimize the app, and now the dynamic island is showing us that the app is in the background, that it's running, and there's two ways to actually interact with it. First, there's a short press that simply takes you immediately to the app, and there's also a long press that displays the app in a smaller form factor, kind of a widget or whatever. First of all, I have a problem with these two actions. I don't know if they're reversible or not. I'd like for it to be the other way around, right? So I'd like for me, when I short press, to get the actual smaller app, and when I long press, to open up the app itself. That would be my personal preference. Now, there's another catch here. So you're gonna say it's good for multitasking, right? The second I pause and exit the app, it's no longer there. There's nothing happening on the dynamic island any longer. There's basically zero multitasking. If I want to go back to the app, I can go back to the app, and now the dynamic island feature will come back to life. But the second you pause the music or the video in the background, it's gone. It's not there anymore. So labeling this as a form of multitasking is a little bit too much. It's cool, it's nice, and it's nice to have. Honestly, it's nice to have. I enjoy it. It's going to add an extra layer of functionality to the phone. But out of the two, I have to say, right now, first impression, I do enjoy the always on display a little bit better. With that being said, some conclusion time. So what are my first impressions? This is a very mild upgrade over the 13 Pro Max. An upgrade nevertheless. It does bring quality of life improvements. It's a cool phone. Unboxing a brand new phone is a cool experience in of itself. And no, I'm not going to return this most likely. I'm going to spend a long time with it. I'm going to be testing the cameras. I'm going to do a more thorough review here on the channel. So again, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on future videos, and give the video also a thumbs up. And I'm also going to be doing a 1 year later review for the iPhone 13 Pro Max that I'm now filming with, because that thing has been my daily driver for a year. And I think it's still a fantastic phone. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.